Hey, what's up? It's your girl Dina from Dinas.tv. I am a fitness trainer and lifestyle coach. I've not only transformed my body, but I've transformed many people through my online coaching and through my boot camps. I'm going to be sharing tools with you that are going to transform your body and transform your life. Now is the time that you live the life that you love and love the life that you live. The time is now to make changes. The time is now to grow. All right, this episode is going to be nice and short for you. I know how it is. We got busy lifestyles sometimes. We don't want to listen to a podcast that's 20 or 30 minutes, and we just want to, know what we can do right now in our life today so that we can be healthier and fit. Please excuse my voice. I'm actually sick. I've been sick for a little bit now, but I'm like, no, I need to record a podcast. I need these episodes coming in for you. I get questions, and I've been, talking to a lot of people nowadays, and the first thing that people tell me is, but I don't want to let go of these foods and it's so difficult and I love my junk food. Why can I not eat these foods and still be able to get to the results that I want? I'm just going to let you know really quick before I just jump into the topic and kind of tell you things, because you know me, I have to go on just a little bit of rant because I want you to really look at this health and diet and lifestyle and fitness and all this just from a different perspective. Because once you learn just a little bit more, you don't need to know everything, okay? You just need to know the 20% that's going to bring you the 80% results. And that's why it's important that you pay attention to the things that I try to explain to you in these podcasts, because I'm explaining it to you because I know it's going to help you. But I know how difficult it can be to understand certain words. You're not used to hearing it. You're like, what? Hormones, this, that. This is too complicated. Just hurry up and tell me, what do I have to do? And that's exactly how I used to feel a long time ago. And even when I started studying the topics, it was still difficult for me to understand. My job is to simplify it for you and to remind you so that it will be more familiar to you. And then slowly you'll start to be like, okay, I remember you mentioned this and that before. And then everything will start to seem so easy for you to understand. But of course, in the beginning, it's not. Now, in this episode, I'm not really going to explain much. I'm just going to give you examples. But there is something that I do want to explain when it comes to the reason why you should have these food swaps. Okay? Because the thing is, some people, they think that they're addicted to foods. Some people are addicted because they go to a comfort like me before in the past. But what they don't realize is that when you eat processed food, junk food, fast food, sugary foods, the thing is that it messes up with your hormones. Now, if you don't know what hormones is, I did a whole podcast before explaining what they are exactly. But just to simplify it for you, they're basically like messengers in our bodies that communicate with our tissues, our organs, and they travel through our blood so that they can perform one of major systems that happen in our body, okay? They control a lot of things in our body. Now, there are, for an example, hormones where when it comes relating to food, I'll just give you some of the couple examples. We have insulin, okay? Insulin has many functions, but it also stores fat. And when we eat these foods, it spikes insulin. What does that mean? Insulin gets high, okay? And when insulin is high, you're not in the fat burning zone. And the thing is, the faster it goes up and the more frequent it goes up, the faster it comes down. And what does that happen? It makes us tired. It makes us want to crave this food even more because it wants to get back up there. And then we're not in the fat burning zone. So we always want to try to stabilize these hormones. Then we have our other hormones like insulin, leptin and ghrelin. These are the hormones that tell you when you're full, when you're hungry. And when we eat these foods, what happens? They start to become imbalanced. And then that's why when we eat foods, we feel like we're always hungry. Like, I'm not full yet. I want to eat more. I want to eat more, because they become imbalanced and they become dysfunctional. And that's why it's important that you look at these foods not as a way as, okay, I want to lose weight, but as a way how to get out of this cycle of wanting to eat this stuff and crave it and get your energy back, because these foods, they rob you from your energy, okay? And slowly, when you start to change these foods, you will start to see how you start to feel better. You're like, you know what? I'm not really craving sugar that much anymore. And then you start to realize, you know what? I'm not really as hungry as I used to be anymore. It's because of the hormones. Not only because now you've created healthier habits, but it's because of the hormones. Now, the last thing that I want to mention before I jump into it, now we have different bacterias in our gut health and our microbiome, yeah? We have our bad bacteria, we have our good bacteria. These processed foods and sugary foods and junk food, they feed the bad bacteria. And these bad bacteria, they're like little monsters in your stomach and your body. And what do they want? They crave these foods that you're giving it because these foods are what's going to help them produce more bad bacteria. So they're like, hey man, we want to make some babies in here, man. Give us some junk food. That's exactly what happens. Like, I don't want to now you're imagining these little weird things in your stomach, but this is kind of like how it works, you know? So the more you're feeding this bad bacteria, the more they crave it, the more they want it. So I just want you to kind of look at it and be like, you know what? Maybe it's not me, because some people are waiting for motivation. They're waiting for that day where they're going to feel better and feel motivated to eat clean. But sometimes it has nothing to do with your motivation, you know? It has to do with your hormones, and it's affecting the way you feel. It's affecting you actually taking action. So I want you to understand this and really be like, you know what? Damn, I didn't look at it like that. Now I have to just take action. You don't have to follow the cleanest diet. You don't have to do everything perfect. You just have to remind yourself that the only way to get out of this cycle is by slowly switching these bad habits with good habits. Because if you just try to drop everything at once, you're going to feel overwhelmed. You're going to feel like this is too much and you might quit. You know, so just be like, you know what? I'm just going to change one thing for another. And then slowly your taste buds will start to come back, because we've damaged our taste buds from these type of foods. And now when you start to remove these foods slowly, you start to get those taste buds back. And then everything starts to taste so much better. Because people think healthy food doesn't taste good, but it's because all these chemicals in the food and preservatives and the sugar damaged our taste buds, that now the healthy food doesn't taste good to us. But in reality, when you actually start eating healthier for a while, you start to be like, wow, you crave this healthy food. And you're like, you know what? This actually tastes really good. I don't even want to eat that junk food. Then when you eat it, you automatically taste how artificial it is. And you taste how sweet it is. You're like, wow, I can't believe I used to eat that much like that. But it takes time to get there. 7 days, no sugar, taste buds will slowly start to come back. 30 days with no sugar and no processed foods, man, now this is going to transform that tongue, I promise you. Now let me jump into it so I don't go on with this. I think I spoke enough. All right, the first one, excuse my voice. I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning of the podcast. I forgot, but yeah, I'm sick, so that's why my voice sounds like this. But yeah, the number one, instead of eating fries, because we want to avoid vegetable oil, eat sweet potato fries, but not fried. You can bake them and it tastes so good. I don't know if you ate it, but they are so good, but they're good when they're crispy. So I'm going to try to find a video on YouTube in case you don't know how to cook it, and I'm going to put the link in there so you know how to make it, because you got to add a bit of flour, but you can maybe put like almond flour, like healthier options and stuff. I'm going to find something that's good, or even if you want to use flour, it's not like you're putting a lot. You just put a little bit just so that it's crispy enough, you know? The second one, instead of eating these biscuits and cookies and dessert and all that stuff, eat dark chocolate. Like, I take dark chocolate with me even when I go to a restaurant. Unless I'm like in the mood to have my little dessert, that's fine because I have it in moderation, you know? But if I feel like, you know what, I want something at the end of my meal, but I don't want to eat dessert, I'm not, you know, going to do that right now, then I take the dark chocolate with me. But I used to hate dark chocolate. I tried it for the first time. I was like, this is not even dessert. Like, this is bitter. But they have different percentages of them. So the higher the percentage, the more raw chocolate, the dark chocolate it is, and the more bitter it is. So you can start with a lower percentage, like 60, 70%, and it's really sweet because it has more sugar in it. But the darker you go, it has less sugar and it becomes much more raw. And then you work your way up. But in the beginning, if you try it, don't judge it. Slowly work your way into it, because the only way to get out of this is by doing it. So try not to judge too fast, okay? The third one is, instead of getting these yogurts that are already sweetened with fruits and stuff, because they trick you. They make you think, oh, it's all natural. But when you look at the ingredients, they add sugar in there. They add artificial flavorings. But the labels in the front, they fool you. And FDA, they don't really, they approve it. Because they're like, natural sugar. But they're still putting a lot of sugar in there. And they're still putting preservatives and other ingredients in there that you don't know what they are, but they still spike insulin and these hormones, and they will not get you in the fat burning zone. So if you can make it at home, why not? It takes 2 minutes. What do? You get Greek yogurt, and you put some honey in there. You put a couple of nuts. You put your dried fruit or whatever fruits that you want in there, and it becomes a habit that you can easily make at home. The next one is, try avoiding all of these dressings that they put in restaurants sometimes, because these dressings are so high in calories. Like, you would be so surprised that you're having a healthy salad, and just because of the dressing, now you're eating like 500-600 calories more. You can switch it now with something like balsamic vinegar or olive oil. Vinegar actually brings down and balances this insulin hormone that I was talking about. And this is what's going to help you burn fat. And it actually helps you metabolize fat faster. I don't want to now get all scientific with you, but vinegar does that. And people actually take apple cider vinegar mixed with a little bit of water, like a tablespoon, before they go work out or before their meals. And this will actually help metabolize the fat better. So we can put that in our salad instead of drinking it as a shot. Number 5. Choose pink Himalayan salt versus iodized salt. Iodized salt is not healthy for you whatsoever. And pink Himalayan salt actually has minerals in it. Number 6, instead of having these cereals, because even these cereals, they say high fiber and natural flavorings and natural, sugar. If you look at the ingredients, you'll see the first 4 ingredients are all sugar. And usually, the first ingredients are the main ingredients, and they put so much salt and all this processed ingredients that you don't really need. And if you're really looking to transform your body and sustain it, this is the thing, because people diet and they fluctuate and all that, but sustain it. And the way to do that is to get all of this addiction out of the way that your body got accustomed to, is all this processed food, and finding a way where you can eat whole foods and natural food sources, because this is what's going to balance all that out in your body, where you're going to not crave it anymore in the future. And that's it. That's how you sustain it. That's how you sustain it, by eating these foods and sticking to it. So what do you have? You have oatmeal. You have oatmeal, and you can put your fruits in there. You can put your nuts and your honey and all that stuff, and mix it however you want instead of getting it processed. Number 7, instead of mayonnaise, mashed avocado. Now, I know how some people don't like avocado. My husband used to hate it, but I was like, listen, let me make a little mixture and then try it. Okay, you can put some cilantro, some chopped onions, chopped tomato, olive oil, maybe a little bit of garlic if you want, some lemon, and it makes a huge difference. And you can put that on your toast, in your sandwiches, in your pasta, on top of your chicken, however you want it. Number 8, instead of ice cream, don't kill me, don't hate me. I know, ice cream. We all like ice cream. Believe it or not, frozen fruits, when you blend them and you turn it into a sorbet, it tastes so good. In the beginning, some of the fruits like berries wasn't so sweet for me, but now it is. But if you try a frozen banana, oh my God, and you blend it, you could put a little bit of peanut butter and some honey on top. Oh, you could put peanut butter and honey on anything and it would taste good. Man, I love peanut butter. But peanut butter tends to cause inflammation for a lot of people. But you don't have to do that. You can do almond butter. You don't even have to put anything on top. You could just eat it like that. But yeah, like frozen berries, frozen strawberry, frozen watermelon, frozen mango, whatever fruit you want. And it tastes amazing. Number 9. Now, if you're looking to lose weight, looking to burn some fat, I highly recommend that you lower your carb intake and you increase your healthy fats. So how can you do that? Instead of eating pasta, if you do eat pasta, you can switch it with zucchini pasta. So zucchini pasta is actually not pasta whatsoever. It's actually a vegetable. So you're not getting pasta made out of zucchini. No, you're taking the zucchini and you're actually, they have these little machines, and they're not like these big machines. It's like this plastic machine. It's so cheap. You can find it anywhere nowadays for super cheap, maybe 100 dirham or 20 bucks or something. And you stick the zucchini inside the machine and you twirl it like, well, I'm trying to explain how to do it, but who cares? You'll see it on the box. And it cuts it into like a zucchini look. And I don't know, like psychologically it gets to your head and it makes you feel like you're eating zucchini. And zucchini is so low in calories, like you could eat so much of it and it's nothing. It's just a bunch of nutrients going into your body and it's amazing. It's like compared to like having normal pasta, it's like crazy the difference. And you can have so much of it and it's healthy for you. So give that a try. And once you put like vegetables in it and some sauce that you make at home, you can maybe put some Greek yogurt instead of cream sauce. That's what I like to do. It tastes so good. And the last one, instead of having rice, it's not like rice is bad, but if you're looking to lower your carb intake, you have cauliflower rice. So what do? You boil the rice. You need to look at a video on YouTube to know exactly how to do it, because one time I made it and I mashed it too much and it came like mashed potatoes. That's actually interesting. Cauliflower mashed. Yeah, cauliflower mashed. Mashed cauliflower. I just thought about it right now. I'm sure they actually have it. But yeah, you can, instead of mashed potatoes, you can actually have cauliflower mashed cauliflower. But that's what happened to me. I didn't think about it then, but when it got mashed. But so what do? You boil it a little bit, but you got to make sure that you drain it so that when you blend it, it doesn't become mash and it turns into like chopped looking like rice. And it tastes so good. You can't even really tell the difference, honestly. Once you put some chicken or vegetables or whatever on top, you don't even tell the difference. And also, I'm also going to try that mashed cauliflower, actually. Add a little bit of garlic in there and some parsley and some seasonings. What I like to do is I like to take chicken seasonings and I put it inside like the zucchini pasta or the cauliflower rice to give it some flavor. Now, if you're someone that's really struggling to eat healthier, please don't just listen to this podcast and be like, oh yeah, that was 2 things. That's great. I'll do it one day. That one day never comes. If you're really struggling, you have to start now. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just take one thing out of here that you liked and do it. Write a list down and keep it in front of you, because if you're struggling, you need these reminders in front of you, because things are going to happen in your daily routine that are going to distract you from your goals. You got to remind yourself of your goals every single day. The more you focus on your goals and you think about them and you write them down and you have them in front of you, your brain will start to focus on them. And you will start to remember it will start to come to you. You'll go to the supermarket and your brain will remember your goals because you were focused on them. It will start filtering all the bad things out and it will start focusing on these things that you're trying to reach, on the goals that you're trying to reach, on the foods that you want to eat healthier. Your brain will start turning it into reality because you're immersed into it. But if you just ignore it, hoping that one day you might be motivated to finally start, that day ain't gonna come. Let that day come today. I hope you enjoyed my podcast. If you have any questions, just shoot me a message or leave me a comment below. If you want to check out my workout routines, you can find me on all social media platforms at Dina's TV, or you can go straight to my website at dinas.tv. I also created a private Facebook group where I will be uploading videos and I will also be live streaming so that we can engage with each other and you can ask me questions. All you have to do is type in transform your body and transform your life to find it on Facebook. Make sure to subscribe. And if you found this podcast to be helpful, please leave me a review. It helps the podcast to reach more people. I also check each and everyone's comment. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until the next episode, stay strong, stay healthy, and always stay happy.